catch Virtus Pro off guard if they're not careful.
Getting rid of the more mobile vanguards here for the side, well, for both teams, with both the Captain America and the Venom off the table. It does mean that Virtus Pro have kind of crafted a very front-to-back approach here. It's going to be all about the overall macro management of fights. Tuesday's going to be
Virtus Pro making sure that there's no little gaps that can cut through, but this invisible woman from MASH already has that boundary. Where it gets placed is going to be really important. The fact that Sparker has used that end song, though, no eliminations off the back of it, now you can maybe put your line in the sand.
It feels like Tuesday's been well and truly caged and contained over the course of this fight so far. Invisible boundary as they're erected next to each other. MASH seen downtown clean when it comes to the connections as Sparker reigns above it all. A quick freeze to put Crazy Kitty's Kelvin count down to 0, and Virtus Pro holds strong.
It was just a quick maths for Nevix to know what are my chances of actually doing lethal damage off the back of Meteor M.
What a grab there onto Crazy Kitty. A carbon crush kicks them into the box, and Tuesday never stood a chance against the engrossing forward momentum of Virtus Pro.
Really forces Chop to go in for a portal play. I think Virtus Pro know at this point there's no other options on their card. You can see them just about to...
This is exactly the game that Virtus Pro wanted to play.
And there wasn't enough pressure even then to allow 2C like a bit of a gap. But it's not as if Chopity are playing for a draw at best. They did get a decent amount of progression on the actual objective, but holding on for 4
to be given away for now. Fi going to be able to pop their team up to get a little bit of additional sustainability, trying their best to survive the assault that Crazy Kitty brought forward. A Pyro Prison being burning this entire time to help the build up towards the Supernova as well. It's going to be a first strike coming through from the side of Chopity. Sparker ready to descend with the Phoenix's end. It seems like there's going to be plenty of hunting on the outside. Sparker's got Vertigo dead in their sights. Two duelists move in onto this. Raining above it all. No one's even touching Ryan for Chopity. It's well and truly chopped. Virtus Pro start off strong.
And the first pick at the start of that final fight went the way of Chops. They were able to actually take out one of the
hero pool until Praise Be we get. And it means that if you pivot over to the Wolverine, you're that is going to be Crazy Kitty being an angry little Wolverine and carving through the Vanguard line.
He's been pretty much on Ultron duty all day, got a bit of torch action on the last map, but that's, I think, what the first elimination, actually playing a duelist that he's managed today. Needed, though. Virtus Pro, I said before, like, Fincy, just allowing him to get the Magneto means that you can have Nevix pivot to all of these other different Vanguards just to be able to dive on people like he is with the Venom. The Supernova, these tornadoes run right onto the point. Meteor M, mostly to get him just off the ground because it's currently lava. It's a perfect hit onto Vertigo from downtown.
Perfect hit or perfect catch. The audience can decide. MASH has lost the Luna form for now. Should be able to have a Duplicitous swap away to one of their doppelgangers. And Kitty, what a mid-air hit there with the flame clusters. But still, the meat of Nevix and Vertigo cannot survive the onslaught. Chopity still have 2 minutes 30 left. So if they take that one essentially as a dry fight.
Now a reset. Shocked. Maybe even not talking about it now, but in the back of their minds thinking, like, how are we still on this second point? We just had such a good time bank of it looked like we were able to take it. So how do we approach this now? You've got some good stuff.
Worlds, and Saipe's ultimate is too far back to be of any real use for contesting here. You can see the Venom emerges from it as fire comes through from a portal. The pentagram of Corallo's been found. Tuesday runs down. Saipe Vertigo's been traded out elsewhere. But there's no real healing here for Virtus Pro. They're running on borrowed time, and that time's been extended for DRP. You get additional HP off the back of the big eat of the Feast of the Abyss. Tuesday gets up close and personal.
How is the fighting song? He's trying to dive in to see if he can get a little bit more, and he finds Saipe again.
Covers all their HP as well. Crazy Kitty cooks Fincy, but is made to pay for it by Spark. Look at how little HP Dredro has. Doesn't really have much option here for the side of self-defense. DRP has found them as well in the back. If Dredro gets staggered here, it could be over, but it seems like they've been able to link up with Saipe and punish DRP for such an audacious dive.
There has been a couple of these moments where DIP has just died alone. There's not really much because time is getting low. He can sort of have some liberties, make sure that nobody's able to flank, but also get in behind Chop as they jump onto this point with 15 seconds left.
Once more DRP into a back quick freeze up, bringing up the invisible boundary here. They need to try and punish Crazy Kitty, and indeed they do. Tuzi's down as well. Means that this last push from Chopity is going to be quite the toothless one. Yeah, Mash has a little bit of additional sustainability, but I believe got pushed out of it by Sparker and then dunked upon by the Phoenix itself. Surely a portal will open up soon, but it doesn't seem like anyone from Chopity is actually
set play to try and take that point quickly. Virtus Pro are going to feel like there was a mistake somewhere. Trying to go for a similar play now in the defense of Chop. Crazy Kitty just putting down Fire Prison. Pop Charcoal to just farm up some more ult charge. But Virtus Pro making sure that the Vanguards go out first means that Saipe and Dream ultimates out for Virtus Pro, but they just knew that they weren't needed. Virtus Pro weren't forced to use up anything. In fact, they didn't really have much available in the first place. But what makes it worse of a fight for Chop is now that those big ultimates, certainly from the Duelists, are pretty much ready and waiting. And if this defense doesn't stop the strategists are taking some good hits onto these aerial targets, Last Stand is going to be used stuns onto Nevix and Spark. And Nevix especially needs to be careful. He's pretty much easy picks for Crazy Kitty if he doesn't play this well. The Invisible Boundary was used, but because this fight has gone so stellar for Virtus Pro, they're able to push past it. It's going to be used on the other side to try and stem the bleeding a little bit more. But Virtus Pro is still in the middle of this, eventually taken down by Crazy Kitty.
This is where the Wolverine really gets its bread buttered against Virtus Pro. Still 3 seconds here on the Feral Leap.
Oh, the pull.
Crazy Kitty. That's going to force out the usage of her regenerative healing factor. Has to disengage once more. So it's even more.
Like, I can take him. It's a dog backing up a tree, and suddenly that dog can jump very high. Now Virtus Pro is still unable to just get this one across the board. And it's Fincy actually finds so much. The Meteor M gets 2, and the follow-up takes out Crazy Kitty. It was looking like Chopity were maybe going to push things back to buy a little bit more time. But out of nowhere, Fincy finds himself free.
Disgusting.
Nova just sitting inside. It's a little bit cooler in there to deal with. But they're just waiting this out to use their own stuff.
Oh, there's my Thing Merchant. Back on the Clobberer. The Thing has finally arrived, and it's going to be Nevix who's dragging it forward. Going up against Double Shield as well is great for... Oh, you can pull him up in the air as well. I forgot about the First Steps team up. That could certainly come in handy, especially as it does allow for a little bit of a burst mobility for the Thing. Noting Tuzi up in the air. He is going to be a little bit far away from the healing of the Fate of Both Worlds, of course, but it does allow Crazy Kitty to get incredibly aggressive into what's on Central Park.
It feels like we were sort of saying before, like in previous games, like... It's very clear to see teams that are doing stuff well and the mistakes that they're making. Then you watch games like this, right? And there's so many like great mechanical moments. There's not really any standout issues for either team. It is just a minor blip in a place. And then
It would appear that all business were defeated by the new Zero Tenacity.